Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have the technical issue to connect to the room account, so I'm start late. Yeah, let me try to start.
You can do it, listen first.
Yeah, just give me a couple more minutes. Yeah, I have. Yeah, everything's ready, but not the. Okay. Yeah, let me share my screen first. Then you can see it. Okay. Yeah, first of all, welcome everybody come over here. We're supposed to have the meeting tomorrow, but since we will have the hurricane soon, so I guess probably today is a better day to start. Let me start. Okay, pause recording. Yeah, start recording. So I assume this will be a short meeting. So yeah, because a lot of kids are really in vacation. So again, we skip the first couple of slides since you are not the first time joining this meeting. So we are YCIC is Youth Coding Innovation Club, and we host this coding group for this 2021 summer. And this is really for the kids who have interesting to continue practice, especially you have some of this extra time you like to really get into more chance to practice in different kind of language. Okay, and the last topic we go through is Olympic Gloria, because Tokyo Olympic is here. So last month, we celebrate that. At the same time, we can really create some of this project to try to show our celebration. Okay, let's quickly move on to the demonstration part. I think this is not right. This is not right. Okay, so the first one will be, let me see. Is this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is really the overall of the summary, but this is really the first one. Okay, so Jason, are you here? Okay, so I can let you to be the co-hoster, and then you can share your screen, and you can demonstrate what this project is.
You have to stop sharing so I can share.
Oh, you cannot share?
You have to stop sharing yours first,
I think. I made a mistake. Yes.
Well, give me a second. Let me open it.
Take it back.
Okay, so this is the first it starts with this screen, and then when you press space, it's basically like a like a swimming race.
Yeah.
And it like says like what's going on over here. And you can see like each lane, like the timer, and it'll stop once they reach the end of the lane.
That's right.
Okay, so onto the code. Hold on, let me move this part. Okay, so there's, as you can see, there's a lot of sprites because there's a sprite for each lane. The code for these is pretty similar. So I'll go over one and then the rest will be similar. So when the flag is clicked, each of the contestants will hide until the space key is pressed, until which it will broadcast this message. And every single sprite has the same message in the same starting code. So like that's just starting up. Once you press space, then it will start the race. And then it will set stuff like the X and Y position, which will all be along this left side here, and then set a smaller size. And until X position equals 178, which is this right here, it will keep switching costumes, and this is the same for every single sprite, like as you can see. And then it will also change the X value by a certain amount until the X position eventually equals 178. So like, as you can see, pretty much every single sprite has this same exact code. The only difference is how fast it's moving. So like there'll be a different value in here for like change X by whatever. Because let me see. Because over here it's kind of like hard coded, it's not really like it can tell which one's in first place and it says it, right? So I guess one improvement that could be made is make this value random for every single sprite, so like it'll have a different outcome every time, so it's not like always the same people will be in first place every time you run it. This sprite right here just controls like the narration, which is like up here. It just says like what place it is, what place each sprite is in. And over here is everything to do with the timers, which are on the right over here. So every sprite has its own variable, like race 1 through 7, and then timer 1 through 7. And inside of each sprite, it will, at first, the race variable is 0, but then eventually it will be set to 1. And it gets set to 1 whenever the X position reaches that 178 mark or 185 mark on the right side, right? So basically, whenever each sprite finishes, it will set the race variable to 1, which will stop the timer. And then that's how you see like all the times are stopped over here. And then this is just it's just like the background. So like it always sets it to the last layer. And yeah.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, and also in the beginning, every single sprite has this turn 90 degrees. Oh, I accidentally. Like every single sprite has this turn 90 degrees. So like that's why if I restart it, they're all facing to the right instead of like just standing up. So it looks like they're swimming.
That's very cool. So each one swimming at random speed, right? So it's not really the fixed speed.
Right now it's fixed speed. What I was saying is to improve it, you could make it
Okay.
pick a random number.
I got it. So currently
Yeah.
it's fixed, but it can be improved to make it
Yeah.
random. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that sounds really nice. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just. So the next one will be shared by Yu Yang, and there's another different project.
Hi, hold on a quick second while I get it.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, here it is. All right, so let's take a look at this project. So then we get the arrow, and then that's all that it does basically. So let's take a look at the different stages we have here. So we have the intro, which is like the beginning thing, and then the actual game itself, and then the end screen. So here it's just an animated sprite, and in this animated sprite, it just, when the project starts, we want to show ourselves, and then we're going to show all 31 frames so that it's animated, you know, and then we're going to hide. So that's pretty easy. Here's what the play button does. When the game is over, it's going to show the play button, so we can press it to play again. When the project is started, we'll go to -6 and 23 and show ourselves. And then when the sprite is clicked, we're going to say, hey, the game has started, and then we're going to show the variable win times and total wins. Let's take a look at the game itself now. So Here we have a target, the player. So what the target does is that it doesn't do anything. It just stays there the whole entire project. So the player, when the space key is pressed, it's gonna say click is 1 and up is 2. So these might be confusing, but we're gonna get to these later. So here's what the player does. It's gonna set some default variables, and then it's gonna keep moving until the player has pressed space. So we're gonna repeat until clicked equals 1. So that's why we set click. Sorry, that's why we repeat until clicked equals 1. So that's what we set click to 1. So once it's set to 1, we're gonna stop repeating this loop. And in this loop, if up is 1 or if up is 0, it's gonna go the appropriate directions. If up is 1, it's gonna go up, and if up is 0, it's gonna go down by speed, which is gonna be set otherwise. And once it's done, it's gonna send the click event. So what? Here's another thing the player does. When it receives that the game has started, it's gonna constantly loop, check if it's touching the edge, and we're gonna reverse the up variable. So if it was 0, now it's 1. If it's 1, now it's 0. So we're going the other way once we touch the edge. And here's some more default variables and going to the initial position and hiding ourselves when the game starts. When the player receives the yellow event, which means the player has the bullseye, we change the win times by 1. Here's what the arrow does. All it does is that when we start, we're going to set to the arrow costume. We're going to point to the right, so it appears the arrow is going towards the target, and we're going to hide ourselves. And then when the space key is pressed, we're going to show the arrow, and we're going to go to the player, and then we are going to say if we're touching white or if we're touching black, we're going to broadcast appropriate events. We're going to broadcast white or we're going to broadcast black. And there's more colors here, but I've omitted them from this slide. And we're going to broadcast the end message and hide ourselves once we've touched the target. Here's the end screen. When we start, it's going to hide. And then for each color, we're going to switch the appropriate end slide for that color. And really, that's it.
That sounds great. So if we want to make some enhancement, what do you think we can make for this one?
I guess we could make it a bit trickier
Uh-huh.
by making it faster.
Okay. My suggestion probably is add one more sprite and then try to keep track of both sprite score, so they can try to compete to each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, thank you. Let me move on to my sharing. Okay, share my screen, this one. Okay, let me know if you can see my shared PowerPoint. Okay, so that sounds perfect. And now we will ask our student here to share your project. So the first one is Andrew New. Andrew, are you here? Right? So I stopped sharing my screen. If you're ready, let me know. You can share your screen. Wait a minute, let me make you that. Andrew,
Okay.
are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can share your screen now.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know if you have trouble to share. Okay, great. You start.
So I made a bone and arrow
Okay.
project and my scratch project. Here it is. So you basically get the points by like shooting at it, it might not be clear because if you shoot it at in between the colors, it'll just it will just count it as both of them. So
Okay.
like if I do yellow, I get 50.
Oh, that's 50. Okay.
Yeah. And then each color like 20. I think this one's 22. So it goes in order 20, 30, 40, and 50.
Okay. Would you please share the code? Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So the code is when flag click show. And then go to x 228, y negative 18, and then go to 225, y negative 70, and broadcast start. So each one of these will receive, I think, and forever repeat 15, change y by 10, wait 0.2 seconds. So it just keeps on going up and down. Repeat 15, change y by negative 10, wait 0.2 seconds. Then when I receive game over, just hide. But I don't think I'll receive it. Just hide when flag receive. Shall go to x negative 134, negative 2. And then when flag click show, set points to 0. Go to x negative 18, y 2. No, like I think it's go to x negative 138, y 2. So it goes here. And forever, if key space press, repeat until touching bowl target, which is the target,
Okay.
or touching the edge. Well, I think we're not gonna get to. Change x by 15. So it just changes the x by 15. And then if touching color yellow, then change points by 50, the variable, and then broadcast 50. And if touching color green, which is 40 points, change points by 40, broadcast plus 40. If touching color blue, change points by 30, broadcast plus 30, 30 points. If touching red, change points by 20, broadcast 20.
Okay. Yeah, I have a quick question. How many times you can shoot? Or they have no limitation for that part?
There's unlimited cooldown, so you can do as much as
Okay,
you
you
want.
can do as much as you can. Okay.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah. Okay. So probably you can go online and check what's the archery's Olympic game rule. I remember they only allowed to shoot up to certain time. I forgot how many times, 5 or 10. So probably you can change your code a little bit, let them only shoot up to 5 or up to 10 times. Then you see what's the total score they get, right? Total points they get. Yeah,
Okay.
that's more like an Olympic game. Yeah, but overall it's a great demonstration. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the next one should be Beham Zhang. Is Beham Zhang here? Okay.
Wait, how do I stop my
Sit-
album? Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, you can stop sharing. Let me share my screen and then. Yeah, is Beham Zhang here? Okay, so the next one will be Cassie Chai. Cassie, are you here? Okay, so since both of Beham Zhang and Cassie is not here, so we move on to the intermediate group. And then I stop sharing, let Jason share his Python quiz game.
Okay. So I'm just gonna the program. So first it has like some introductions, right? And then you press enter to start the quiz. And first question is which country got the most gold medals? So I mean I guess I made the quiz so I know the answer, right?
Yeah.
So like if you get it right, it'll say that and then it'll show you your score after every single question. And then next question is which team won the men's soccer gold medal? So like for example, if you type the wrong answer, it'll say every question you have 3 attempts, and if you give up, actually let's just put 3 wrong guesses, right? If you get 3 wrong in a row, okay. Okay, I don't know what just happened. Let me just rerun it. If you get 3 wrong in a row,
Mhm.
it will say the correct answer, right? So like for this one, answer is Brazil. And then I actually don't remember. I think it was like, no, I don't know. So like if you give up, right, you don't know the answer, you could just type skip and it'll tell you what the answer is. Oh, looks like I was a couple letters off. Actually, I searched it up. She's only like 12 years old and she won a silver medal. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
yeah. I'm just like trying to remember the answers because even I don't really remember. Yeah, like if you don't know, you could type skip and it'll tell you what the answer is. And then at the end, it'll tell you the final score. I actually didn't have that many questions. As you can see, there's only 5 questions because I actually didn't really know what to put. Like I searched up some stuff, but like this is what I came up with.
Great.
So onto the code. This is just the beginning part, right? Introductions and yeah. And then this actually, I'm pretty sure it would work. I don't need that. So it loops through every single question in the quiz, which is this list right here. And then you have 3 attempts for every question. And then while you still have attempts, so attempts greater than 0, it will use the input and type in it will print the question. So input basically prints whatever you put in the parentheses, and then it also waits for an answer. So yeah, then you could type your answer. If the answer equals skip, then it prints this. Basically, it tells you the correct answer and it breaks out of the loop. So that way you don't get more attempts, obviously, because you type skip. And if your answer, if the lowercase is just to make sure, so if you like accidentally type a capital letter, it won't like mark it as wrong. So if the question's answer equals your answer, then it adds 1 to the score, and then it'll print out your score, of course. And then otherwise, if your answer is not correct, then it subtracts 1 from the number of attempts. And then if your attempts is 0, which means you have no more attempts left, it'll tell you what the correct answer is. Otherwise, it'll tell you to try again. And then at the end, it prints out score and then a slash, and then the length of quiz is just the number of questions. So as you can see here, it says your final score is whatever your score is, and then slash, and then the total number of questions.
That's interesting. So if we like to make some enhancement, what kind of enhancement do you think we can do with this program?
I would say probably just add more questions.
Add more questions, of course,
Yeah.
that's very obviously. Yeah. Okay, maybe I have one more suggestion. Of course, it's enhancement. Keep track of how many tries, just like if they get the right point at the first try, he get a full point. And if get the right answer at the second try, probably only get 0.8 and so on. So
Yeah.
that means they do not really get the total score as an integer instead of that's a float, right? Float.
Yeah.
And that can be a little bit more interesting, I think. How about that?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to do it now, but I just have that thought. Maybe we can enhance like that. Okay, that's overall a very nice demonstration. Thank you. Thank you. The next one will be Wei Yang's ping pong game. That's written in JavaScript.
Hold on a quick moment while I find it. Or I start presenting. Hold on just a moment. There it is. All right, so this is the Pong game. Let's take a look, see if you can see we have movement right here. And the ball is just gonna bounce around until it hits the ball. Okay, so there you go. So here's the HTML for it. So we have the paddles, the scores, and also the message. And the default message is press enter to play Pong. And then we have lots of default variables here. So here we're gonna get the elements of the page, and we're gonna cover what's like special here. Some initial ball coordinates, and also a random initial velocity, so the ball doesn't go in the same direction each time. Here, we're in the when key press section. So if the key is enter, that's the first line of code, we're gonna set the game state to play. And then we're gonna choose a random initial ball velocity, and we're gonna call move ball to initiate the game. Here, this is when W or S press, we're gonna move to the proper position because W or S is the movement key. So we're gonna move the paddle by setting the style.top. And then the math.max prevents the ball from leaving the play area. So here's a move ball function. So basically here's some checks. So if the ball is out of the play area, it's gonna invert the velocity so it starts coming back again. If the ball touches either of the paddles, we're gonna make it go the other way, so it bounces off the paddle. And if the ball touches the wall, we are going to assign the proper point to the player. And we're gonna say press enter to play Pong again as well. Here's where it just sets the position. So we're gonna update the ball on screen so that it is at like the proper position on screen. And then we're gonna ask the browser to run this again a little later. And here's just some CSS that defines what the paddle looks like. So basically it's just using a box shadow to draw the paddle. You can see there's some colors there and some insets there. And also the paddle class has a border radius which makes it round. Really, that's it. That's all that this does.
That looks very cool. And yeah, one quick question is that if I want to add a net over there, so what we're supposed to do?
Wait, what do you mean by net?
For example, I want to add a net in the middle of the.
Like it bounces off the net?
Yeah.
You can just like define a new check, and then when the check says the ball hits the wall, so like the net, you can do the same. The wall code is similar. You can invert the velocity.
Okay, I got it.
But you would also need to render in an image of a net, because it wouldn't have, because if you
What are you saying?
only
Right?
because if you only did the check, then it would just seem to bounce off of nothing, since there's no image of the net.
Oh yeah, you need to create a new element
Yeah,
to define that in CSS.
Okay, that sounds great. Let me share my screen. I don't think, okay, Michael Wei is not here, right? So we have no students share the screen about the intermediate group. Okay, Michael Wei is not here, so let's move on. Yeah, the hardware, oh, sorry, I should share a different screen. Stop sharing, then let me share the new screen. Yeah, I have a hardware project, which of course I don't really show you everything, but just give you some of this interesting outlook.
Okay, so I'm not smiling.
As a teenager, I carried
Let's
him.
share that screen.
This is the first time I'm watching the tapes back.
Okay, this is MBOT project. Yeah, they tried to maneuver through the mess, and then of course it's a racing game, so it's pretty much like a car race, but instead it's atomic. So they try to find their start and end point. I believe this was running by a small club, and they try to build that competition around. Okay, this one, there's something wrong. Someone is even control. Okay, but anyway, so this is a pretty straightforward one, but I want to show you the code because it's really used the front sensor to this ultrasonic sensor to detect it, and then try to get around it. Okay, so that's pretty much what about the hardware's project. And after that, I think I will not show you this because this has been shown a couple of times. Okay, so our project summary, every time we have the project, will be posted on the GitHub page and will be credited to each one of the students. And I encourage everybody to share and discussing on the Google Classroom. And of course, I highly encourage you to come over here to demonstrate your own project, just like Andrew and also Ellie did.
Wait, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going out to eat to a
Okay,
restaurant.
that's okay. I'm almost done. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
So the last
so
page.
I'm gonna leave.
Last page is next project topic. So we already finished 4 rounds of project, and this will be the last one because the summer is almost end. So the project topic is space explorer. So anything about the space, anything about like Moon, Mars, or any of this unnamed planet, it's okay. So we keep the same and use the same theme, and we will hopefully in the middle of September, just in maybe end of the first week of the school year, or full semester, we can come over here and have our final and last group meeting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will post this theme over to the WeChat group, also to the Google Classroom, and I hope most of you can join and try to make something happen. Thank you so much. This should be a short meeting, and everybody have a great Saturday and great weekend, and be safe. Hurricanes here, so everybody just be alert. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.